DFS and bets, week 19. It's Holden, it's Mangone, and it's Keg from the Run Pure Bet side. Look at that, just for you, Keg. Just for you, buddy.
Let's go.
Yeah, let's go.
Hey, man.
Mangone, what's up, buddy? How's the kitchen treating you today?
Good, man. Excited to be here. Excited to hang with the crew, man. The bets crew. We're on the weekend. Hit some winners. No complaints. DFS has been rolling, so life is good over here for Mr. Mangone.
You at Grandma and Grandpa's again, or are you at home?
No, I've been at the beach. Hanging with some friends, relaxing.
It must be nice though.
Well, we're in Jersey, right? I mean, listen, it's not Florida, but hey, we'll take it. I feel like it's like 5 degrees cool or warmer down here than it is probably up by you. If it ever snows, it never gets below 30, so I never have to deal with the snow. So listen, it ain't bad for me. I ain't complaining.
God bless. You're living the dream, kid. God bless you.
Have any hypodermic needles washed up on your beach recently, or is that old time New Jersey?
Settle down. This is the Jersey Shore is cleaned up. It's not what it used to be. This ain't like Snooki running around. This is a nicer place now.
I thought that was like, isn't there like a carnival like underwater there, and it's like Atlantis? No, everything's fine. Okay, good to hear. Hi, Keg. Good morning.
Hi, buddy.
I guess it's afternoon by you. Hey, make sure you like the video, subscribe in the bottom right-hand corner of the video. Just hit like. It's not a big deal. It's pretty easy to do. NBA Premium. What were we doing last night? All right. Last night was a tough sweat for you and me, Keg, but I would say this season, very, very nice on the NBA side. So you guys got the picks in the bet side. Mangona's been crushing it with the cash on the sports side. What do we got for premium here, Mangone? Besides for my show with JSU, who's absolutely spectacular, the best in the business. It's really his show. And Workbench 21, you'll get 25% off your first payment here to Run Pure Sports. What do we got premium there, Mangone?
Yeah, I mean, we got tons of premium stuff. So like NHL has started, so that started today. So we have some NHL content up. We got the golf content, right? Golf starts on Thursday. So check out, we got the cash chart over there. Who put that together? AP's got the playbook. We got core plays up. So tons of PJ stuff. And on the NBA side, I'm doing the DK cash chart. Hoop's doing the FanDuel one. And we got all the core plays from guys like JSU, BigT, AP. Tons of winners being given out, and tons of awesome stuff. So use that code Workbench21, get 25% off your first payment.
Hey, are Hoop and Big T alive? From what I understand on Twitter last night, a guy got really messed up and decided to threaten their lives. What's up? Are they okay? Have you talked to them today?
Oh, I can confirm. I saw Hoop said something in the coordinators channel not too long ago, and Big T I just messaged not too long ago. So they are alive
okay?
and well. They're okay, and they're doing well. So no complaints. Hopefully they'll be okay for the show today. Hopefully they're not too rattled.
Yeah, I mean, tune in. If one of them's gone, they're dead, and it's pretty. It's crazy. It's kind of like show roulette. Keg, before we get into our normal process here, we do the bet side, we do the DFS side for the 4 playoff games. What's going on the bet side right now, buddy?
Live betting show at some point this week. We'll do NBA and college basketball. And then we'll be live. The UFC is back on Saturday. We'll be live for that. Plus all the NFL playoff games, obviously, we'll be live for. So it's been going well, man. Trying to keep our head above water in the NBA. Got off to a little bit of a rough start, but we're trying to start to make our way back. I had like 3 incredible weeks in the NFL. And then the wild card round slapped me around. We got it back on the live show, though.
We did.
We did. We had an 11. Well, I didn't know, but Mangone was on the same play that we were on. We had the Antonio Brown anytime touchdown at 10-1. We had our first touchdown, I'm sorry. And then the Heineke anytime touchdown at 11-1, all in the same night. So we got it all back, but it was a rough start for me for wild card weekend for sure.
Well, let's get into this. We got 4 games coming up. We're going to go to the Saturday afternoon game, 4:35 Eastern. Rams visiting Green Bay. I also want to get to a prop with you guys from this game that kind of stood out to me. 6.5-point favorites for Green Bay. This drop, you had it at 7 in a lot of places. 45.5 is the total. So is this the unstoppable force and the immovable object here when you talk about Green Bay and Aaron Rodgers being unstoppable? But the Rams, even with Aaron Donald a little bit banged up, Keg, their defense, to me, most talented in the league. This is a fun one.
By far, I think they're clearing away the best defense, definitely, in football right now. The Rams were one of the teams that got me last weekend for sure. I was on the Hawks, and Tony was on the live show with me. When we saw Wolford go down and Goff come in, we were feeling really good about it. We were like, all right. But, Goff ended up doing what he had to do to win, which wasn't much because the Rams are the best defense in the league. That's no longer up for debate. Now, it did look like Aaron Donald at least cracked a rib in that game. I don't know what his status is, but I assume even if he plays, he looked like he was in some serious discomfort in the second half. So I doubt he'll probably be 100%. I still don't like this Rams team because I don't respect Jared Goff as a quarterback. Now, the Rams defense can keep you in a game, but they're going to have their hands full this weekend because the Green Bay Packers offense is as good this season as anything that Mahomes and Allen have done with the Chiefs and the Bills this season specifically, right? So, it's going to be very hard to go to Lambeau and beat this team, even with the Rams defense. I think Rodgers takes advantage of having home field throughout for the first time in his career. And I think that the Packers move to the next round. Now, can the Rams defense slow this Packers team down? Maybe. But Rodgers and this team are getting their points at home against everybody this year. So as far as the spread, the Packers minus 6.5 probably isn't a bad play because I think that they're a touchdown better than anybody in the NFC right now at Lambeau. However, if I'm betting this spread, I'm just going to tease the Packers down to minus a half point. I think they should be your anchor this weekend in any tease that you're trying to play, in my opinion. Now, the total is interesting because you haven't seen a total of 45 in probably any game this season that has involved the Packers at home. So if we have seen it, I can't imagine it's happened more than once all year. We also haven't seen a Packers team total as low as 26 in almost every game this season. Now, I think the Packers are scoring 28 at home in the playoffs against anybody, even the Rams. So the two plays in this game that I'm probably going to target are the Packers in a teaser as an anchor and their team total over 26. I'm willing to take advantage of a line that we haven't seen all year in this team total, and I'm willing to let them anchor the tease because I really believe that you can pencil the Green Bay Packers to be the NFC rep in the Super Bowl. I just don't think anybody beats them at home. Aside from that, that's all I got.
All right, bet the future on that if you want to. Mango,
I got him at plus 480.
Beautiful. Oh yeah, we talked about that. Yeah, that's to me is the one team that can beat the Chiefs. So we got 3 outdoor games too. I love this. 3 cold outdoor games this week. Mangone, to me, Devontae Adams is going to be a huge decision this week, whether or not, what type of exposure I have. This is interesting with a player prop. When was the last time Devontae Adams was at 77.5? It had to have been months. And that's obviously because of Jalen Ramsey. So before we get into anything here, what is your plan of attack with Adams, who is 8.6 on DK and 9K on FanDuel?
Yeah, that's a great question. I do want to mention I'm already in on that anchor teaser that Jay's got. I got some Packers and I got the Chiefs, man. I teased them, to I think I got the minus 2.5 or I got minus 3. I forget which one I got. I got it early on though. Jumped on it because I was worried about Kansas City possibly moving too much, so I wanted to get in on it while I could. But yeah, I agree with Jay on that. Let me talk about Adams though. That is a low number for him, but it is Jalen Ramsey. So the one thing I think about Adams in this game, and I haven't built too many lineups. I haven't gone out here and cranked them all out, but I don't know if I need to spend on Adams this week because of the other pieces I can spend on. I can spend on Tyreek Hill. I can spend on Stephon Diggs. I can spend on Travis Kelce. There's just a lot of guys on this slate I can go to. I can go to an Aaron Jones who seems pretty underpriced. I can go to an Alvin Kamara who is a pricey guy. It's all about getting your studs right. You cannot get your studs wrong on this weekend. You can't because there's so many to go to. I think that Adams is probably not the right play. And the reason why is I have some fears that he's not going to get as much work as you'd expect. 1, he has Ramsey on him. 2, Aaron Jones, this is a great spot to kind of run him out there and just like beat him up, right? I don't think Jared Goff can put enough pressure on that Packers offense to force them to have to throw as much. Now, do they use Davante Adams really well in the red zone? Yes, they do. But they do have a great defense. And what do great defenses do? They make some big plays at times where they can cause some field goals to happen, right? They can stop drives that are just, the teams are just going down the field. So I'm expecting that this Green Bay team, they're going to have some type of struggle, right? I don't think they're just going to go and just walk all over the Rams. You're going to see the offense have some moments where you're not that you're questioning it, but you're a little confused by that they're not moving the ball with ease because, again, this Rams defense is really good. I do think the Packers win. I think they win pretty handily, but I think it's part of the reason is because this Rams team, Jared Goff leading this team is not a good thing, man. Like, it is not going to be pretty for that team. It is going to be really, really ugly. I was in the camp. I don't know if you saw on Twitter. I said Rams money line and Walford we trust. Like, I wanted Walford in, not Jared Goff. When he got hurt, I was upset. But Cam Akers in the run game, it's obviously a good run game. That's kind of how you can beat the Packers. But the problem is they don't have a passing game that I feel like can do enough to keep them alive. That is my concern. Jair Alexander is going to be matched up on either Cooper Kupp or Robert Woods, and that's going to be a problem. I just think it's going to be a huge disaster for them. So I like the Packers to do pretty well here, and I like this run game. I'm going to really side with going Aaron Jones. I don't even hate Jamal Williams, right? If you need a cheap guy, because this is going to become a stars and scrubs kind of week. Now, I'm not saying Jamal Williams is the guy that you should plug and play in as your cheap guy, but I think you are going to need some like weird cheap guys to like plug into your lineups at times. And I think he's someone that you can look at because it's just going to be a stars and scrubs week, in my opinion. And he's someone that I would consider, like, I don't hate the idea of being like, okay, let me fade Rodgers. Let me fade Adams. If you think that passing game is going to be chalky for any reason, and loading up on like Jones and Williams is like a double running back combo. I did it last week with Dobbins and Gus Edwards because I thought it was a route that could work in tournaments. I thought all these people were on Hollywood Brown, Lamar Jackson. And again, I know this is a strategy that's not going to win all the time, but it's going to make you different in tournaments, right, Holden? It's just going to give you a unique build.
Well, yeah, here's my deal on this side. Like Aaron Jones, God, it's a tough roster because he's just been so. I mean, we haven't had the blow-up game since week 2, when he ended up with those 46 points.
But he's
obviously in play. He's obviously in play.
But he's priced for Holden, right? He's 6'8". I mean, he's
6'8". That doesn't, yeah. So I guess he'll be in there. But my question for you really is more about wide receivers. Because at tight end, I think Tunyon's in play, no doubt about it. But if you're not going to Adams, do you consider anybody from the Rams side? And who's your guy from the Packers side? Are you just going to go Jones? Are you going to go Tunyon? Is there MVS? Could we go back? Because no one wants to roster the guy. I don't. I hate him. I legitimately can't stand the man. It's not his fault, though. It's the Packers for not drafting a wide receiver. Who you got at wide receiver?
Yeah, I think it makes sense. Like, so one thing I want to look up is, I'm sure they haven't, but I'm sure the Rams don't get beat on explosive plays or deep plays. So I wouldn't really be in on scaling. I think it's a better spot for a guy like Lazard. He's 3.9K. Holden, if in week 1 I told you Alan Lazard was 3.9K in the playoffs, you would say, no, that's crazy, right? You would think he'd be like 5.5, but he's had some injuries and kind of gone through some like rough patches. This is a perfect spot, I think, to get on Alan Lazard. I think he's a really cheap option that you can get exposure to this offense if you want to. I also don't mind Bob Tonyan, but I don't think it's needed. Price is a little bit up, and I think I'd rather probably try to find a way to get in Kelsey there. So yeah, on the Rams side though, like, I don't want to touch these receivers either because one, I feel like I'm playing a little bit of roulette, right? I got to pick between Woods and Kupp, figure out where Jair is going to be because that's going to be a problem as well. And I just think this is not my favorite game on the slate. I understand Cam Akers is in a better bell cow role. If you want to, you can make a case to maybe get Cam Akers in there in like a cheaper running back build if you want to just jam in some more studs because of the volume that he's going to see, and it's only a 4-game slate. I totally understand that. It's something I will consider a little bit in cash games, but at the end of the day, I might just look at it and be like, I don't know if I can roster this. It's too tough. There's not as much touchdown equity there, but it's something that I'll have to decide once I get the roster construction. I really like the running game more than the passing game here.
Okay. Nothing on Rodgers either. Keg, real quick, Davante Adams, 77.5 receiving yards. I'm uncomfortable with it, even though it's low. Should I be?
Yeah. I mean, Ramsey on the other side is an absolute beast, man. So that would make me a little nervous. Now, you know what the thing is though? in order for this Green Bay Packers offense to really do what they do, how does Adams not get targeted 15 times still, no matter who's covering him? That would be my concern. And the one guy that I kind of like a lot, especially in the red zone, is who you were just talking about, holding Bob Tonyan. Now, Mangone said that, he doesn't really like him that much in fantasy because he'd rather throw Kelsey in there. But I think Tanyan's going to be live for a bunch of checkdowns for sure. But I mean, with everything that we've seen this year from Devontae Adams, it's, in order for this Green Bay offense to do what they do, how does he not go over 77? That's my concern.
Just Ramsey, man.
Yeah, I mean, true.
Is his touchdown prop lower than normal? Because I would like him more there, because I'll say this. I don't know how high Jalen Ramsey can jump, but man, Adams can get up there, right? Like, I wouldn't be shocked if Rodgers threw him like just some high balls to go.
Yeah, but you know what? He there was a broken play with DK Metcalf, but for the most part, and Metcalf's got to be 4 or 5 inches taller than him. Here we go. So I'll get the touchdown. Doesn't have to be plus money. I mean, it's ridiculous. The juice is stupid. 148, 152, 147. I can't touch that. That's just it's not worth it. And the receptions at 6.5.
What is Aaron Jones?
You know what? They're
giving
Ramsey.
Like,
they're giving Ramsey respect because normally Adams this year's like minus 180.
Okay. So I know that they're giving him respect with 77.5 yards. So Aaron Jones is minus 105 is the best number I have to see him get in the end zone.
That seems like a fantastic bet. I think that's.
You like that? Okay.
Yeah.
His rushing yards are 68.5. I might even throw it on the sheet
after the show, man. That's how much I like it. I think I might throw that thing on there.
The Aaron Rodgers touchdown?
No, the Aaron Jones I was asking.
Aaron Jones touchdown. All right, let me get in there before you jack up the stupid thing and I can't get it there anymore.
Yeah, I just think they're good. Yeah, that's a good call. What do you have on Tanyan now, Holden?
All right, give me 1 sec. Bobby Tanyan. What is it? Come on, Bob Tanyan. Let's go. Plus 160. All you can get is this touchdown prop right now.
Yeah.
I don't know. I kind of want 2-1 on that personally, but 160 seems fair. Anything?
Yeah, that's about right. That's about what I would have set it at.
Yep. Okay. I'm good on Tanyan.
Yeah, I'm just like, you are sold on Aaron Jones, it seems like.
It's just that's how you beat the Rams, right? And the thing I don't think people get is, like, the Packers like to run the ball, right? Like, they really do. And you're going to tell me, all season long, Rodgers has been passing the ball, all this stuff, right? He's been passing. It's the playoffs now, right? You got to make the right call. You can't mess around and decide I want to chuck the ball up to get another touchdown for my record. So I personally think Aaron Jones, they're going to make sure to get him fed. And I like that. I'm definitely going to be in on some Aaron Jones. It's a good price. And on top of that minus 105, I don't think it's adjusted for, how they're going to really approach the playoffs. Like, they like to run the ball, man. That's what the Packers really
I don't hate Cam Akers at the right price too. I think he probably sees the end zone.
I mean, we're giving out free players here on a non-premium show, guys. Let's settle down for a second.
All right, let's settle down.
It's a big weekend. It's a big weekend. Can we talk about how we got to watch some pretty good football this weekend? Like, it was fun to sit down and not have to watch the Jets play the Giants. You know what I mean? I didn't have to watch Colt McCoy run out there. You know what I mean? Like, or I can't even think of another bad quarterback.
Yeah, you watch Rams Seahawks. That was a garbage game. That was ugly, man.
Yes, until
they fired Schottenheimer finally. There's the guy the whole time we're blaming Schottenheimer for this stupid run first thing, and all along it's Pete Carroll who ends up firing Schottenheimer. I mean, they're going to go back to running the ball. I guess that's the right way to go, because Wilson proved that he couldn't shoulder the load all by himself for a full season.
Let me ask you a question, totally non-related. Mm-hmm. Is the firing of Doug Peterson mean that they're going to give Wentz another shot?
Yes, absolutely. That's 100% why he's gone.
Jesus.
Interesting.
Yeah, Wentz is coming back.
I didn't even think about that. I just thought it was because of, and maybe it's because I'm in this like horrid Giants group chat with my family. They are just going at it. They're just ridiculous, the Eagles, for throwing that game. But
yeah. Well, I mean, I don't think it's because of that. It's because Laurie took Wentz over Peterson. Just simple as
Interesting.
that.
Yeah, I haven't read into it. I didn't even think about that angle. But
Is there a prop bet where there's got to be where Wentz plays next year? It's probably an offshore bet.
Probably.
I'll just put it all on the Eagles is what I'll do. Yeah, because listen, he demands a trade, and then Laurie can go up to him and go, I fired the coach. You're my guy. Let's go. And what the hell happens in Jalen Hurts? I don't know, guys. You ready to move on to the next game?
I am.
All right. Mangone, anything else you want to say before we move on? I don't mind.
No, I'm ready to rock. Let's go to this next one because I want to get Keg's take on this one. I got
all right. Before we get to that, I got a couple things to tell you. Buffalo -2.5, Baltimore and Buffalo total 50. Hit the like button. Make sure you subscribe to us. Just hit the like button if you're just joining us. It's very easy. Click. If you haven't signed in, sign in, whatever. So there could be some rain. There could be some snow. Lamar Jackson yesterday said that he hoped it didn't snow. He'd never played in it before. Offensive coordinator with the Ravens said he hoped it didn't rain because Lamar Jackson had one of his worst games ever in the rain. So, Mr. Keg, I'm not going to place bets on this game. Now, I know we got some prop bets that are posted in the on the sheet on runpurebets.com. I don't mind those prop bets, but I can't bet this game until I know what the weather is. And I'm telling you, normally snow is a big time advantage if there's an actual layer of snow because the defense has to react to Lamar Jackson. But if it is a downpour, forget about it, man. I'm on Buffalo's side.
Yeah, man. The Ravens.
Did I just throw a wrinkle into this for you?
No. The Ravens were another team that got me last weekend. Those Titans score a quick 10-0. We're in the driver's seat, +4. And then the Ravens turn it on. Oh, my God, bro. Absolutely head-scratching punts in that game from Vrabel, but whatever. Yeah, so.
Jay, real quick, that punt that he did, there's like a cowardly punt Twitter account that says like the rankings of cowardly punts.
Are you kidding me?
Yes. It's like the highest percentage outcome of like cowardly punts, and there hasn't been a more cowardly punt since like 1994 or something.
I mean, that was the worst call that I've seen. I'll tell you what, that was the worst call that I've seen since the fake punt last year in the playoffs with the Texans. That for sure. So what I was most impressed with from the Ravens was how good the defense looked after the first quarter. Probably as good as they looked all year. Now, will they be able to do that to the Bills? Who it's even a better offense, in my opinion, than Tennessee, and they throw the ball all day long? That's the question, because what the Ravens did really well was stop the run, but the Bills don't run the football at all. So, the only play that you're going to automatically be able to pencil me in for this weekend is Lamar Jackson's rushing prop over. Now, he had like 140, I think, last weekend. They can't set his number high enough. And like, all joking aside, I mean, now they're at a point where you can't lose games in the playoffs, right? Which means he will tuck it and run way faster than the regular season because he's not going to take the chance to throw into a tight window on 3rd and 8 when he could run for 12. And especially now with the weather, and especially since it's a soft Bills defense, I think you have to really take a look. Now, that number was 76.5, I think, last week. I mean, he doubled it. So if it's anything close to that number, pencil me in. Now, the Bills, they played a bad football game against the Colts, and they still found a way to get the job done. I expect that they're going to play better this week than against the Colts, and they're going to need to, because I think that the Ravens right now are playing better than the Colts. If the Ravens keep moving the chains with Lamar and Dobbins, it's going to keep Josh Allen on the sidelines, and that means anytime that the Bills are on offense, they're going to have to take advantage of those possessions. Can the Bills win the game? Yes, they can. But the play on the side in this game, in my opinion, is teasing the Ravens up to 8 to cement that teaser with the Packers. I think that's probably your safest play. if all is well and the weather isn't really an issue. Now, if the weather is an issue, I think that the Bills -2 become a stronger play. But you know what, Holden? When it snows, the offense has the advantage
Correct.
over the defense, right? But I mean,
Big time.
if Lamar's never played in snow and the worst game he ever had in his life was in the downpour, I would assume against the Pats, right? That
Yeah,
was the
I'm pretty
game
sure
that
that's
they
what
were
it was.
talking about.
Yeah, it was ugly.
Yeah, so the line is in a zone where you take who you think wins the game at -2. And I think it's going to be a close game, but I do in the end think that the Bills find a way and get the job done. So I really don't mind taking the Ravens up to 8 or 8.5. Now the total, um, again, lower than we've seen all year long. Can this game shoot out? Yeah. 50 is a low total considering the offenses that we've seen from these two teams this year. I think the total is the safer play. Instead of taking, now I had this conversation with JJ last night. I said, instead of taking the full game over 50.5, take both team total overs, because the worst I think that you can do is split and go 1-1, but you have a legitimate chance to win both. A team total of 24 for the Ravens against how soft that Bills defense is almost criminal. And on the flip side, a team total of 26 for the Bills is pretty soft considering they put up 170 points in 4 weeks. And we haven't seen a total that low almost the entire year on them. So I can see myself betting 3 plays in this game. That Lamar prop over, both team total overs, and hope that you go 2-0 instead of 1-1. So that's really what I like in this game.
Yeah, we're not going to give out too many free picks, guys, but if you don't have a subscription to the bet side, I don't know what the hell you're doing. So here's the deal. This is what we got going on right now, okay? We got Workbench 21 for 25% off your first payment, okay, to Run Pure Sports. And then you can add the bet side for what, $20? We still doing the bet side for $20? Beautiful. I love it. I love it. Mangone. So, again, before we get to the DFS plays here, Josh Allen, anytime touchdown, plus 125. Josh Allen, passing yards, 302.5. Rushing yards, 33.5. Last week, and Ked kind of brought this up, last week I dropped in the Discord on the bet side. I said, guys, I like this Josh Allen number. What do you think? And JJ goes, yeah, you know what? These guys do run more in the playoffs. And then you heard Keg just say that. Well, at 33.5, they jacked it up a little bit. I wonder what you think about some of these Josh Allen props. And where are you this week on DFS?
Yeah, so I'm kind of with you. Like I'm in agreement that, hey, these quarterbacks are going to run more in the postseason, right? They're going to use their legs when they have to. They're in survival mode. They're doing everything they can to get that first down, to get those extra yards. So I'm with you on that. What'd you say again? The number, it went from 33.5 to what?
Oh, it's 33.5 right now.
What was it last week, though? You said you bet.
Yeah, I got to go back and look. I think it was like 24, 25, somewhere in that range. Hold on. I think I got it right here. 25.5.
Okay, I mean it's definitely gone up, right? But so I'm trying to think through the game and how I would want to play it. Now, my one thing with like when I think of overs, when I think of going overs against like a team like the Ravens, my worry is the Ravens can really kill that clock, right? That is one thing I do get semi-concerned about. Less plays just can happen throughout the game, but it is Josh Allen. I'm not going to be preaching an under on Josh Allen, I don't think right now. But I think overall on this game, I think that the Ravens, it's kind of a little bit like last week. I kind of talked about how I thought that the Rams, when they're playing Seattle, like played really well into their favor. Part of me thinks this plays really well for the Ravens. If you think the Bills' run D is not that great, I don't think their run D is that great. But the problem is, I think that their pass D is good enough to get them by. And I think this defense throughout the season, and Keg, maybe I'm wrong, I think this defense they're okay with giving up some running yards to teams, right? They're okay with letting you get some chunk yardage. But throughout the season, they looked really bad because they had a lot of injuries, right? Tre'Davious White was in and out throughout the season. Milano was out. I think this team is peaking at the right time, and I think this defense is better than people realize. Jay, what's your kind of read on this Bills defense from the season?
I think that I'll tell you what, the analytics say season long that this Bills defense is much better than our eyes and the final score say. They ended up finishing the regular season 11th in DVOA, and I think their defensive number on Pro Football Focus ended up being just outside the top 10. So I agree with you. The last 4 weeks, I think that the Bills defense has played much better than the 12 weeks prior. But you know what? Overall, even though the numbers say that they're as good as they are, I still don't trust this defense.
I trust it more, I guess. So I was curious. I want to get your take on it. I trust the defense more. I think it's kind of peaking at the right time. Like I said, I do think like last week, I thought the Colts was a really good matchup for them. And they proved the Colts, they played pretty well. I was pretty impressed with how they did. They couldn't get the job done. It is what it is. But I fear that Lamar Jackson is now kind of going up against a good defense. Like when he's played some lame defenses, he's beat them up. I think this defense is going to cause him problems. Sure, he's going to run around. He's fun for fantasy. And he's a great fantasy option. I'm not saying to fade him there, but I do think that they are going to be trailing and he's going to have to pass a lot more. And we know when Lamar has to throw the ball, it's not pretty. Sure, he looked great last week, but you know why he looked great last week? The Titans defense is terrible. Absolutely terrible. And this Bills defense is way better than that Titans defense.
And if we're being fair, the Titans had plenty of opportunities to win that game.
Yeah,
they just couldn't get it done.
Yeah. So I'm totally in the camp of I like the Bills side more. I even think I like Josh Allen over Lamar Jackson. I think I'm going to go him and for $200 less in DFS. That's my current lean right now. I'll admit, like I was tilting Lamar at the start of that Titans game, and then he runs one play and scores like 12 fantasy points in one play. So it's like that's why you roster Lamar, right? So I'm not going to say that I for sure am over Lamar over Allen. I think that I'm leaning Allen over Lamar, but obviously I can change my opinion and it might change throughout the week. I don't really like this run game like Dobbins and Edwards. I think they're going to be playing from behind. And I think Hollywood Brown is going to end up dealing with a lot of Tre'Davious White. I'd rather go to a Mark Andrews maybe, but I think this is a better team than maybe fade on this slate because I want to play Travis Kelce instead of Mark Andrews.
Is this true? That yeah, Lamar Jackson 7.6, Allen 7.4, but Jackson is 8K and Allen is 8.8 on FanDuel.
I mean, if that's the case, that is
what the? Hold on, I gotta look this up. This chart can't be right. What? Hold on, that's an $800 difference. So I almost want to pay the extra $800 because nobody's gonna be on him. How do you handle that? Hold on a second here.
Well, you might want to. And I think that personally, Lamar for 800 less, like it's all about price shopping in DFS at times, right? Like you want to get guys at the better price tags on different sites or where they're kind of better, right? I want guys that score touchdowns that are touchdown guys on FanDuel, the PPR guys I obviously want on DK as long as the price is right. But yeah, I mean, Lamar is $800 less, and that's going to make him probably a better cash play than Josh Allen because $800 can go a long way, right? If you look, I'm trying to see if there's any big like $800.
Why is he $800 more on FanDuel on that Saturday slate? That doesn't make sense to me.
I'm not sure. Very odd, but FanDuel does some weird things, so no clue why.
Yes, they do.
I'll admit. So if you're playing DFS, right? I'm fine playing the 2-gamer on FanDuel. Like the 2-gamer is a good one to play. It's all good, but I personally think it's better to go play DK and play the 4-game slate. That's my current lean right now. So I've looked more at the DK slate than the FanDuel one because it's only a 2-game slate. But I love Stephon Diggs in this spot. I think he's my favorite spend up right now. It's between him and Tyreek Hill that I have to debate. So I think I'm going with him as one of my spend up options. And then Gabe Davis has looked phenomenal. I think he's an amazing tournament play. Like last week, and it won't be the same ownerships, right? But last week, John Brown was 31%, while Gabe Davis was 3% in tournaments. That's amazing leverage. Absolutely amazing to be able to get that kind of difference in players that are so similar and saw very similar kind of roles. So I think Gabe Davis is still a really good option. Cole Beasley, I don't know how healthy he is. I know he played last week. He seems like a guy that kind of just powers through it. But I think Gabe Davis is a guy that I'm going to be playing in some tournaments.
All right. Very good. I like this.
Oh, one last thing. Hold on.
Yeah.
Devin Singletary. Because we have no more, I'm blanking on his name. Who is Zach Moss.
Yeah, they just signed Devontae Freeman. That's how bad they are now.
But Singletary will get most of the work, right? He is going to be a really extreme value that you're going to want to be playing in cash games and probably tournaments as well, because he's going to allow you to have a really nice stars and scrubs build. Check him out. He's going to be a very chalky option.
Okay. Let's get on to this third game. But before we do, I don't know if anybody's checked out Monkey Knife Fight, but if you haven't, I don't know what the hell you're doing, because it's head-to-head player props. There's fantasy points. There's yards, over-unders. So the Monkey Knife Fight promo code is Run Pure. They'll match your deposit up to $50. And I'm telling you, do it. You throw in 50, you get another 50, you get 100 all of a sudden. Tweet us a screenshot of your win. Use the hashtag RPSMKF. RPSMKF will pick 2 winners for t-shirts. Again, go to monkeyknifefight.com, code RUNPURE. And make sure you like this video if you haven't already. So, Mr. Keg, here's what we got. Cleveland at Kansas City. I don't know if Big T was playing some shtick here, but he's like, take the Rams and the Browns on the money line. I'm not going to do that. Kansas City, 10-point favorites at home, 56, 56.5, 57. This total's all over the place. Is Cleveland going to hang with Kansas City? A Kansas City team, which maybe now they're going to turn it on since the games really count?
Well, Kush, here the Browns sit playing with house money. And that generally makes teams dangerous, man. Now, the Browns are starting to believe that they have a shot. And the question is, can they hang around in this game? Like you said, I think the answer is completely predicated on what version of the Kansas City Chiefs that we see. Everyone looks at the Chiefs. They see the fact that they're 14-2. They think it's up, business as usual, Mahomes. But that's not the case this year. That was a really weird way to go 14-2. All year, the Chiefs, I'm telling you,
that's a great way to put it.
Yeah, all year, the Chiefs had the chance to put away every team they played, right? And they made it much harder than they needed to almost every game. You can count the games where the Kansas City Chiefs gave a full soup to nut 60-minute effort on one hand this year. So if they let the Browns hang around by not putting them away when they have the chance, the Browns can easily sneak inside this number and cover when we're talking about 10.5. Personally, do I think that the Chiefs lose this game outright? No. But we have seen far stranger things happen in the playoffs. And I'm telling you right now, Baker Mayfield is playing right now at a level that we have not seen him play since he came into the league. If the Chiefs let this team hang around and like they do their thing where they put up 30 in the first half and then they let the Browns come back and outscore them 27-3 in the second half. If that happens, then if the Browns are hanging around late, they're live, because the way that kid's playing right now, he can make anything happen late. But as far as the spread, it's a dog or pass spot for me. I see some 10.5s out there. I just don't trust the Chiefs to play 60 minutes based on the 16 games that we've seen this year. They have to prove it to me first. So I lean that way. Now, the total is really big here at 56.5. The team total is basically 34.5. That's a monster team total. And, are the Chiefs capable of getting over that? Yeah, but I want no part of having to count on them to get there. But the team total that seems exploitable and a little too low is the Browns, because 22.5 with the way that Mayfield is playing right now, and the Chiefs are a top 16 defense, but they're still susceptible. So that's kind of where I'm targeting right now. I think that's a little low, man. I think win or lose, cover or don't cover, the Chiefs are going to get up and over 22. The Browns. So that's what I'm looking at. And then I'll look at the player props as the week goes on. Right now, the only thing I really like, Browns to get up and over 22.5.
All right. Okay. Let's go over to your side here. I want to start with the Chiefs. Mangone, I absolutely love this. And I think it's tough if you're going to want to try and fit Mahomes, Hill, and Kelsey into a lineup. You talked about stars and scrubs, though, and it's absolutely possible to do it. Even if you want to go with Cleveland, I mean, there's some cheap options. That, you want to go down from Landry. You got Higgins. You've got Peoples Jones. Tell me, what are we doing here with the Chiefs and the Browns?
Yeah, I mean, this is definitely a game I want to load up on, right? We pull up, the card and we see 56.5, like the highest total on the slate by 5 points. Like, sign me up. We got to load up on guys in this game. The question are which guys, right? They talked about saving Clyde Edwards-Helaire for the playoffs a bit more. I don't know if I'm exactly sold on him right now as being like a priority or anything. I think I want to prioritize this passing game. I want to prioritize Travis Kelce. I want to prioritize Tyreek Hill. The thing with Travis Kelce is he allows you to just kind of like lap the field at a position that like other people might just be so behind. It's going to be tough to catch up, right? If he has a big game, which I expect him to probably put up some of those points of that 33.5 total that they have there. So I definitely like getting Kelce and Tyreek Hill in there. I would love to get Pat Mahomes on my lineups. I don't know if I'll be able to though, right? Because if you plug all three in, it's going to get a little difficult. Sammy Watkins is in play. They have a lot of guys that can obviously score. Mecole Hardman in tournaments, DeMarcus Robinson, all these guys you can kind of mix and match. Like if you're not going to play, a Tyreek Hill or a Travis Kelce, look to some of those other pieces as guys that can get, some exposure to that game for cheaper. On the other side of the ball, obviously expect the Browns to be trailing a bit, right? The question is, how are the Browns going to attack this game? Is Nick Chubb going to be out there, running the ball a ton? Are they going to be trailing by too much where Nick Chubb is going to have to just kind of be abandoned? They're going to have to go to the pass game more. If that's the case, Jarvis Landry is definitely interesting. The problem is Jarvis Landry's price tag. I mean, he's 6.9K over on FanDuel. And then on DraftKings, I'm pulling up that price now. He is 5.6. So it's a better price tag at 5.6 over there on Landry. I think he's going to be a really good option to get in there. And then Nick Chubb, we'll talk about his price on DK. FanDuel at 8.2. I'm not as excited because, again, it's more of a touchdown equity site. I think at 6.6K on DK, it's interesting. Now, my one fear is, will he get the 100-yard bonus? How much will he be involved in the passing game? You also have Kareem Hunt out there on Twitter saying, this is his game. He's going to be out there to shine. I know that.
Personal. For you. Yeah, it's personal because the dumbass decided to beat a woman on camera, but it's personal for him. I get it. It's real personal. Idiot.
Yes, so not the brightest take by him, but what are you going to do? But I think Nick Chubb could obviously be in play if he's going to be part of the passing game more, which he definitely could be more involved than you'd expect. Hunt could be a really good tournament option as well. A lot of guys that you can get some exposure to. And as like a cheap tight end guy, like don't look now. Austin Hooper, here's his last 3 games.
Yep.
5 targets, 15-6. He has double-digit fantasy points in the last 3 games. And in a game script where they're going to be losing the entire time, and he's been banged up all year. We haven't really seen Austin Hooper be like fully unleashed throughout the year. Like if Austin Hooper was healthy all season long, you would have been like, Austin Hooper would have probably been like maybe a little more expensive or would have been putting up bigger numbers this season. So I think Mr. Austin Hooper is a really interesting option as a run back. This is definitely the game I want to load up on, but you got to find ways to be different with it because, hey, people are going to be loading up on that Chiefs side of the ball.
You guys like any Landry on DFS this week?
Any what?
Landry.
Yeah, I said it before. 5.6, Jay. I mean, that's a really good price for a guy who's going to be getting the PPR stuff. And on top of that, like this is a big game. This is the game you got to win. You got to pull out all the stops. And when they're going to pull out all the stops, it could be a Jarvis Landry passing touchdown, right? Like he's going to be involved in those gadget plays. So Jarvis Landry is a guy I'm definitely going to be targeting a ton.
I wonder if Hunt is a play this week because he's such a ding dong. I'm not going to buy into that narrative, though. I'm not buying into it.
Well, the problem is Nick Chubb is in the way, right? Like there is it's not like it's okay. Awesome. It's his entire backfield and it's up to him just to get the job done. It's like, yeah, well, there's also this other problem. One, they have to have maybe the right game script. 2, they also have to be in a scenario where Nick Chubb isn't getting the ball and it's Kareem Hunt getting the ball more, right?
Well, yeah, that's my question. Like if the Chiefs do what they do and shoot out, right? Browns are not going to be able to just run the football with Chubb all day, which I would think puts Kareem Hunt in play, catching balls out of the backfield.
I think Chubb is more involved in that passing game than you think. But I would say if you're going to get that 2-minute offense, you might get more Kareem Hunt there. That would be kind of my lean.
So Chubb's rushing yards is 78.5. Does he get enough carries to hit that is the question. Does this get out of hand? Mangone. That's probably what's going to keep me from betting this right now. The touchdowns at 115. I think that's going to get, I don't even know if that's available anymore. It's at 189 at minus 189 on BetMGM. So that's my concern there with Chubb.
I agree with that, Coach. I think if you're taking Chubb over, you might as well couple that with the Browns plus 10.5, because that means that they're hanging around unless he breaks one really big run. Because, if the Chiefs really do what they do and they're locked in, I just can't see Chubb getting enough carries to get up and over that number.
What do you think, Mangone? Again, I mean, you think he's getting there?
Well, I think Chubb. So what everything's going to dictate on Chubb is what is his ownership, right? If he's going to be single digits, like I'm interested, right? Like it's hard to get good players at single digits on a 4-game slate, right? So I want to see what his ownership's going to be. I don't think he's a cash game play, more of a tournament option. And again, I'm going to load up on the Chiefs side. I'm going to load up on some Landry, and obviously I want to look at what Higgins and Peoples-Jones ownership is going to be. I mean, Peoples-Jones, I don't think he's an amazing option or anything, but he is 3K and allows you to unlock a lot. He's got 3 targets in his last 3 games. Again, we're talking about this stars and scrubs build that I want to do. That's kind of someone I'm going to look at as maybe a tournament option. But again, it's Landry and Hooper. It's like my main 2 targets on the Brown side.
Any other props you think, Keg? I mean, I don't even want to talk props. Like, who's the other guy with the Chiefs that's going to push him over? Like, there's going to be a rando wide receiver that does it. Is Le'Veon Bell going to have a nice game this week? Are they going to just decide to go to the run game? Mahomes, his prop, I think his rushing prop went up this week too. Do we think that Mahomes is going to run more? He's at 16.5.
That's possible. I have to check the numbers, but I want to say every quarterback last weekend went up and over their rushing prop total. I have to check that, but I think at the very least it was 3 out of 4, or 6 out of 8. I think almost everyone, except Tom, obviously didn't go over, and Breeze didn't go over. But I'm pretty sure that I know like Heineke went over, Lamar went over. I think Josh Allen went over. I think Baker might have even went over. And obviously Roethlisberger probably didn't because the number's usually really low. But I think all the mobile young kids probably find a way to get up and over this weekend. I think Mahomes is probably in play. Baker is probably in play. And then Allen and Lamar, I think they probably find a way to get up and over that too. Because every possession means so much. They're just going to tuck and run.
And the Chiefs just don't cover as a team. It seems like they just don't want to cover anymore.
Right.
But this is it's the playoffs, man. People say, you can't turn it on and off. Well, I think these guys have the talent and the coach to do it.
Listen, I don't disagree with you in theory, because they are by far and away the most talented team, and they should blow everybody out of the box if we're being fair about it. They really should. They're probably a touchdown better at minimum than every single team in football. But like you just said, what did they not cover, like 9 out of the last 10 weeks of the year, something crazy like that? And it's because they just let these teams hang around. And the Browns are playing right now where they are the last team right now in football that you want to let hang around, because it seems like they're just going to find a way right now. So, a 10.5, considering what the Chiefs did against the spread this year, there's just no way that I could lay 10.5 with them.
Yeah. We got one more game, gentleman. So let's do it. Again, subscribe to our YouTube channel. Joey Work dropped in again. I didn't even say anything to him today. I'm here for Mangone and Keg. It just doesn't stop. It's just, he's relentless.
Joey's feelings were hurt last night.
Were they really?
No, I'm just joking around. But he was like, "Oh, Keg gets his questions answered." Okay,
listen, Keg's nice. Keg loves everybody. I'm just throwing that out there. Keg's nice. Well, except late nights on some live shows. Then you're not a big fan of some people. Just saying. Boxes of wine make you into a very cranky person.
Man, listen. Okay. New Year's resolutions, right?
Have you hit a box of wine in 2021?
Yeah, one day this week.
What are you drinking at the beach, man? What are the cocktails? Is it beer, like wine coolers?
Yeah, is it sex on the beach, Malibu Bay Breeze? What's going on over there?
Oh, well, I had my friends are here for the week, and we're hanging out, and we they made some margaritas one night. So one night we did margaritas. They're having high noons, Coronas. I mean, every drink is being consumed here. I think wine was consumed last night. I was not a part of that. I was just sweating the games and relaxing. But yeah, no, margaritas was one of the probably the funnier drink that we had of all of them.
Margaritas. Would Keg drink a margarita?
Oh, Keg would drink a margarita.
I don't know. I'm not a big Jimmy Buffett guy, so I don't know.
The girl that was going to the workbench found out I didn't drink and just freaked out.
Did she?
Lost it. Yeah.
Well, I mean, you're in Colorado, bro. There's a lot of things you guys could have done to have a good time.
I'm like, why don't you just stop drinking every night? You know? If we do that, we'll meet in the middle. But I think the workbench day is over with that one. She didn't like the non-drinking thing.
You move on to the next, bro.
You move on to the next.
On to the next one.
Move on to the next.
That's it.
Oh, yeah, let's do it.
Quick. Hold on, before we move on to the next, we gotta give it for JJ. We gotta give 2 thumbs up to the video. They love that. So guys, please hit the like and subscribe for us.
I mean, you just stole JJ's move right out.
He does it every week, and I like it though. It's kind of funny.
But guys, I give him the shout out every time. I say his name. I don't just steal it like it's my shtick now. I'm just doing it for him. It's a little kind of way to bring JJ into the show and have him here. I want him here with us at home. So there you go.
Fair enough.
Correct. Yeah. And then there's Keg. I will not drink a box of wine.
Listen, bro. We got one more game on this slate. Let's get through this game. Come on.
2 more boxes of wine. 1 more beer. Let's do it, Keg. Let's get into it, baby. The old dudes. This is the Wishbone podcast of the NFL, man. Just a bunch of old dudes going head to head. Tom Brady and the Bucs, the Saints and Drew Brees. Our lines in this one. 3-point favorites for the Saints at home. Total is 52. Tom Brady is on fire, man. I was shocked. They couldn't get pressure on him against Washington, and then he comes back last week. He's looking great. What's going on here with Tampa Bay?
I'll tell you, this is the one game this weekend that I don't really feel like I have a pulse on yet.
Wow.
Now, I'll tell you why. The easy thing to say about the Bucs this season is they've looked flat out awful against the Saints this year. They played them twice. In those games, they averaged 13 points a game. Tom Brady has 2 touchdowns and 5 picks in those 2 games. The Saints are one of the 4 best defenses, I believe, in football, and they basically shut down the Bucs passing game in those games, right? It was not any better for Ronald Jones on the ground. They struggled there. So it's easy to take a step back and say the Saints should take over this game defensively and do enough offensively to beat the Bucs at home. Based on what you have seen this year, if you said that, I wouldn't necessarily argue with you, but I don't know, man. It's very hard to beat a playoff caliber team 3 times in 1 year in this league. It does not happen often. And I think that the door's wide open enough for the Bucs to find a way to get the job done on Sunday. Am I betting it? Not as of right now. I still want to dig into this game a little more, but I've been thinking about it. I would say right now the spread is probably a pass for me. If the line drops to 2.5, I think you almost have to throw the Bucs in there and tease them up to 8.5 for the Wong teasers that Tony loves to do, because I do think that this game is going to be close, and I do think that they might even win this game. So the 8.5 seems like a no-brainer. You almost have to tease that, but I'm going to pass the side for now. As far as the total, 2 really, really good defenses playing in this game. And while the Saints have shown in the first 2 meetings this year that they could absolutely shut down the Bucs have not been able to show that, against the Saints so far. But I do think that there's a shot that both defenses show up and this game sneaks under the total of 52. So as of right now, I'm going to lean under 52. Still going to do some research on the side. But if that line drops to 2.5, you almost have to tease the Bucs up to 8.5 with the Packers or, whoever. So that's what I'm looking at.
Guys, Brady's prop, you can find it between 284.5, 295.5. Let's go 284.5, Mangone. I mean, is this looking like a game that Brady gets to 300 divisional? It's a divisional clash. I don't love that. These two teams, they know each other pretty well. But then again, it's in the dome, and Drew Brees in this offense usually much better. His props 275.5 is touchdown. Oh my God, minus 208. It's not even worth it. So, what are we doing here with these two quarterbacks?
Not playing them. Like, I'm out.
Really?
Like,
one of them not going to have a big game?
They're so dusty, dude. Like,
so what?
The thing is, the gap between these guys that can run and like these dudes that are just fossils out there, like I'm out. Like, it's just, there's too much of a gap that can be made between Josh Allen. Like, Aaron Rodgers can use his leg and he's great. Like, Lamar Jackson, like Pat Mahomes can use his legs. Like, I'm out, man. There's no need to play these two quarterbacks. If you're going to play these two quarterbacks, you better be playing two receivers from the teams, right? Because if they go for like a nuclear game of like 35, 36 fantasy points, that means these pass catchers went absolutely crazy. I think Mike Evans, I was surprised he was even out there. He looked better than I even expected. He didn't have an amazing game, but hey, he was still out there for most of the game.
Mangone, just to finish the season, Brady had more fantasy points in both of the last two games than Lamar Jackson. He split with Josh Allen. He had more than Mahomes. The guy's getting it done with his arm. I mean, I can't stand non-mobile quarterbacks too, but the bottom line is this guy's putting up points. Brady.
He definitely has, but I mean, I guess you can make the case. Washington, they do have a really good front seven. He did it. I'll admit, I watched him last week and he was pretty good against him. And it is a dome, right? That's going to help him as well for a little bit. So maybe I'm underlooking. I'll say this: I'm not playing Breeze. I don't think Brady. I can get more behind. Breeze, no, I don't want to go to him. I'm out. And the reason why I really don't want to play Breeze is there's Taysom Hill that's lurking there that can easily steal some stuff. They love to run the ball with Kamara and Murray as well. And I am curious to see, like, the Saints, they do like to run the ball, and this is a team it's really hard to run on. So I am going to be curious to see how that all plays out. Do we know what happened with Ronald Jones? I saw something pop up.
He's not practicing. It's Wednesday, and he's not even out there on the field. You want?
Jeez. Okay.
Fournette. So, is Fournette back in the convo?
Yeah, definitely, man. Listen, he's done me well. I played him towards the end of the year, and he's done me well. So I'm going to go back to him. Give me some Leonard Fournette. I mean, him and Devin Singletary allowed you to get all these studs into your lineup, right? So Leonard Fournette is someone I'm going to look at and might end up being a priority for me. Might be someone that I'm loading up in a ton of my lineups. I like it.
Hold on, Mangone. Hold on. Leonard Fournette, anytime touchdown, plus 140.
Ooh, plus 140 on that. I mean, again, the Saints are really good against the run, but yeah, I don't hate that. We'll have to see. Again, this is not a game I'm in love with trying to load up on, I should say, but I got to think about it more. It is the second total, and second highest total, and there is some of my bias leaking in. I can definitely feel it and not want to load up on this game and trying to play the guessing game. But I will say, with Mike Evans being banged up, I feel like he has been more of a decoy, right? I don't think he hits a ceiling with the way he's been playing, and I think that really helps out Antonio Brown and Chris Godwin. It makes them really interesting option. And then on the flip side, Michael Thomas, like, what are we doing with him, Holden? He's really cheap. I think we fired him again, correct?
Yeah, his price went up too. I mean, last week was a no-brainer. It's just like, all right, it's Michael Thomas. Let's just hammer it out. So
he's
price,
6'7" on DK. I mean, he's 6'7". I mean, how do you not play him?
Yeah. And it's weird because he was 7-1 to end the season, and then he went down, and then he's down at 6-7.
The reason he went down is because there's so many other studs that just emerged on the slate that they're all priced above. They just can't price everyone like too high, right? They have to have some other ranges.
I love him. They said last week Evans was going to be limited. He still went out. I think Evans. That's the other thing with Tampa Bay. If you're going to play two of the studs, which ones are we going with? I mean, Cameron Brate had a ton of targets last week.
He had a huge game. And you know what? Mike Evans looked better. His movement on the field looked way better than I thought it would. I would assume that, like, Ronald Jones blew up a lot of people's lineups last week because he didn't play. But Michael Thomas 8-1 scored the first touchdown last week.
Oh, did you get on that one, Kay? Because I was mad I didn't get on it.
We had 4 guys, and he was not one of them.
Dang. I'll say this about the Evans thing. Like Antonio Brown and Godwin are probably the 2 guys I would look to go to. I think they make a ton of sense as options. You just got to kind of, I think in this game, play like what you think the script is going to be. Kamara's another one. Like you absolutely have to love him. The floor that he provides with the touchdown equity that he has, they will be riding him out in the playoffs. And on top of that, the floor with the receptions and all the targets he gets, he's another one. I want to try and get him into my lineups. I know I've talked about a lot of expensive guys, but we need to play some of these cheap guys to make it all work. And I want to definitely get some Kamara in my life. And I think that the Bucs are better options for tournaments because it's more of a guessing game and they clearly can hit ceilings, but the floor is not as safe. And then these 2 guys, Kamara and Thomas, I think they have really great floors and ceilings there.
Looking at the odds, Godwin at FanDuel, 61.5. Antonio Brown, 56.5.
See, now just going back to the Fournette thing, I am gun shy to bet that because I don't know if Ronald Jones is playing or not. Like, it's not a good sign that he's not practicing today, but then again, the game is Sunday night. So he's got, I think tomorrow, obviously Friday is the big day there, but I'm not going to hit the Fournette thing yet is what I'm saying. Keg, I like this with Godwin and Antonio Brown, though. That's definitely something to have to look at. I think this game shoots out. That's where I am.
By the way, I do want to mention, so you guys talked about Braid before. Braid is 2.9K, and there's not going to be a ton of like tight ends below 3K that are viable on this slate. He has ran more routes over the last 3 weeks than Rob Gronkowski. I think Levitan tweeted that out. So that was something that when I saw, I was like, my eyes kind of popped. I was like, whoa, like that's shocking. But I think it's because they're using him more as a blocker, Rob Gronkowski, right? He is a good blocking tight end. And Brake can get the job done in the pass game. So look for that, especially with Mike Evans being banged up. They need one of those more like possession guys. And hey, Cameron Brate for 2.9. If it helps kind of fill out your lineup, it's probably not the worst idea in the world if it gets you a ton of studs and a unique build.
So, Kush, you like the over? Because the Saints twice, they put up 38 against them once, 34 against them the second time they played. So they've clearly been able to score on this Tampa defense. It's been Tampa really that has struggled a little bit.
I don't know. Brady's gonna figure out a way. If it's just like short passes or something. Here's the one thing. Lattimore's done a good job of shutting down Mike Evans. Relatively. So that's why I kind of look at your Godwin and your Brown prop and circle. But yeah, they threw this on Sunday night for a couple reasons. First of all, the greatest quarterback in the history of the world against the most accurate quarterback in the history of the world. That's not the only reason, though. I know they think this thing shoots out too. It's the second highest total.
Right. You could be right. I mean, they set that number low enough at 52, where if it does go over, it's gonna fly over, right? Probably. I don't know.
Big shout out to Josh Gillum for being in the chat today. What up, Josh? Just want to give you a shout out, dude. And hook 'em 05 too. But yeah, I mean, that to me, as I sit right now, it's going to be super uncomfortable. There's no doubt about it. But I think what do you guys think
about
the Tampa's chances to win the game outright? Think they're live?
Definitely in play.
I definitely think
they're live.
Yeah, no, I think they're very live, and I think that might be the side that I would lean to. Here's a scenario I want to ask you. This would be amazing if we could do it, but it probably will never happen. But my friend said, how good would it be if this was a loser goes home match, right? Like loser retires, like Brady and Breeze. Whichever guy loses,
one guy's retiring.
I know, but what if Brady threw it on the table? If I lose, I will retire. That would be incredible to watch. But that would make it a lot of fun.
I think this is the type of game. I don't bet double results often, right? But I think this is the type of game where, like, if the Saints have a field goal lead at the break or a 4-point lead and Tampa comes back to actually win the game, that's plus 750 right now on Bet365. Saints first half, Tampa full game.
I'll bet it live. I'm going to bet this game live is what I'm going to do. And man, going from a DFS side, I will have probably lineups with both Breeze and Brady this week. And if it kills me, then honestly, I'm probably going to stack every game.
It's your last chance to roster Breeze. So if that's why you want to do it, sure. But I can't get.
I don't want to roster Breeze. I don't want to. I just see where he's priced down. I can easily see him throwing 3 touchdowns. I mean, it's not out of the realm of possibilities. The guy's 5'6", 5.6K. Would you play him or Baker Mayfield? You probably won't play any of them. You're probably just going to play the mobile guys, which
I'll probably play the others, strategy. But I might even play Baker over him. Call me crazy. Like
really? Okay.
The problem with Breeze, Holden, is if Breeze has so you're in those GPPs that are like $9 to win, $1 million or whatever, or 500K, like the ridiculous scores, right?
Yeah.
So if you play Breeze and he has the 4 touchdown ceiling game, you have to make sure you have that Deontay Harris clown or the Marquez Callaway. You have to get that right too. So you're trying to hit all these different parlays, and I just want to say the parlay's not going to hit. That's kind of my camp.
Okay. I'm absolutely fine with that. I'm also a guy that's going to end up just stacking every game this week. Usually I'm a 6 to 8 lineup guy. I will probably have a dozen lineups this week.
Right, when you start the final countdown show with JSU, ask him before, say, is this a bad idea? And then maybe he'll sway you. Maybe I don't even think we're doing the final countdown this week. We didn't do it last week. I don't see it on the thing. I know we do final countdown Monday through Friday. Thank you for the help on this one. We do final countdown Monday through Friday, leading you right up to lock in the NBA. So 45 minutes before tip, JSU and I go on there. Kegger's always in the room. Mangone from time to time. Big T's in there. Me and JSU. JSU's the best there is right now in NBA. He's just crushing it. And I'm looking forward to doing that show. Lots of great premium stuff. And again, the bet side, if you have a Run Pure Sports subscription already, $20. It's totally worth it. It'll pay off. Add the bet side for $20. Run Pure Sports Workbench 21 is the code for 25% off. I don't know why they went with 21. They did. Workbench 21, 25% off your first month here at Run Pure Sports. Mangone, anything else you want to plug before we get out of here? No, nothing else. Just check out all the content we have at Run Pure Sports and use the code Workbench21 and check out all the stuff Jay's got going on the bet side. That was one of our longest shows with 2 less games. So I think we're all pumped up for the playoffs. Yeah. Well, there were good games to talk about, right? Holden, you always get on me. Oh, it's not a good slate. This is a good slate, man. This is definitely one of those.
The two things I would say is, one, make sure you guys are watching the live betting show this weekend on the Run Pure Bets YouTube channel. It'll be a lot of fun. And the second thing I will say is, just by watching the free show that Mangone and Tony do in the NBA, and then the countdown to lock with JSU and Holden, I have made money in every night in the NBA except 2 times this year so far, and I don't even know what I'm doing.
Yeah, you're like 8-2 at least. Yeah.
Yeah. Crazy. So the product is just amazing over there.
Gentleman, thank you for watching. Appreciate it. Even Joey Work, if he's still in here or not, he's probably drinking hot sauce straight up. For Mangone and Keg, I'm Holden. Simon, thanks for making us look pretty, dude. We appreciate it. Keep running pure.